Okay, l'chaim. I'm sure you're aware of it. I have to tell you. Crazy, you know, Pesach Lamamish, like uplifted in the deepest way. Then comes Sfirot Ha'ayma, and the more we get into Sfirot Ha'ayma, the more broken we get. Mamish get broken. Because in a very deep way we are breaking down God's light. Because on Pesach was Mamish like shining, like, so to speak, humanly speaking, on one piece level, right? It's Mamish a great light shining. Well, we come to BaOmer, we are breaking down the light. Chesed Sheba Chesed, Dvur Sheba Chesed. Also something happens inside to break me down a little bit. Yeah, I'm just coming from Los Angeles with the 1 week. You know, every person told me stories are broken down. Crazy. I'm in New York for 1 hour and I have about 100 phone calls. You're about, you know? Time. Now listen to me. This very, very deep. You know, if you want to know how much you love a girl, you don't know how much you love her when you take her out to see Gandhi. I mean, with all due respect, Chaim. You only know how much you love her when you call her up. I'd like to go see Gandhi with you. Because, you know, I'm just so busy. Hey, the opposite. You only know from brokenness. You only know from brokenness. Now listen to this. Crazy. Like you have a feeling now between Pesach Sheni and like BaOmer, it's like... But we're getting back to Shavuos and becoming one piece again. Okay, everybody knows, you should all live long and happy, that the 24,000 cubits of Rabbi Kiva, you know, you should all live long. You know, never took off between Pesach and BaOmer. And thank God today it started. I mean, something happened to the world. How much can you take? And here I want to share something very deep with you. Why did it stop today? And this is, I want to learn with you Tora from Shlomo, which I'm sure everybody knows, because it's such an important Tora. You learn it 1,000 times, but it's so deep. Why did it stop today? What is so special about today? I mean, people can die in Kippur also. Listen to me. When someone hurts your feelings, who loves you a little bit, it hurts, you can bear it. When somebody you love the most hurts your feelings, imagine if somebody who you think you're closest in the world to hurts your feelings, you can almost die. You can't bear it. You can't. And here I want you to know the deepest depth. Like BaOmer is when the Rabbi revealed to us, what's the deepest secret of the Torah? The deepest secret of the Torah is the highest God knowledge to us. Unlike BaOmer, if Rabbi Kiva's pupils would have continued to die, he would have broken up the stuff. He wouldn't make it to You know, if it's revealed to me, the great Mamish, the Iron Service is revealed to me, right? What God is all about. That I can't. So stop. Because God gives you only what you can get. That I could. And before I learn the Torah inside, I have to take you past the story. Because I'm sure most of you know that tonight is the Yortzeit of the Heilige Rebbe Rimenova. Let me tell you first two stories, which I heard in BaOmer. The first story is that Chassidim were on their way to Rabbi and they passed by a little village, and there, at the outskirts of the city, there was a broken house and a broken porch, and a little boy of 9 was standing there dancing with him. You know, Chassidim had a little, was sensitive to Helik and the Shaman and realized this boy is something special. So they asked him, hey, what's your name? He said, Mendele. Why are you dancing? He says, because I have not eaten in 3 days. Yeah, that's really... that's the real Chassidish answer. He said, so you haven't eaten in 3 days, that's why you're dancing? He says, I'll tell you the truth. I haven't had eaten in 3 days. I'm only 9 years old. I mean, how much evil could I have packed in my young years, right? Especially maybe in the 42nd Street, and so on. So I was angry with God. But then suddenly I realized about I have a father, I have a mother, I have a brother, I have a sister. I have a house, even if it's broken, it's raining in, but it's a house. Baruch Hashem, I have 2 eyes, I have the nose, I have teeth, I have the mouth. The Lord gave me so much and I never thanked Him for it. So I started that. Wow. Wow. Chassidim walked in, they asked his father, who's his rabbi, who's his teaching? He said, I'm too poor to tell him. So he said, this boy is a gewalt, right? Maybe one in the whole world. So they said, we're going to Rabbi give him a visit. So they took him to Rabbi and everybody knows that Rabbi Mendel Rimmenhofer, the 3 great rabbis of their time, 180 years ago, Rabbi Mendel Rimmenhofer, the Tzvi of Lublin, and the Kosher Samaj. Okay, now just to give you a sense, all of us, on what level was his mind, his head? Listen to this. One of his biggest chassidim, I forgot his name, when the Rabbi Mendel Rimmenhofer passed away, he absolutely refused to be consoled. So they asked him, you have seen so many big rabbis, he was for Rabbi Melech, he was even by the Melech Magid. By the Kohen Magid, what's so special about Mendel? He said, let me tell you something. I'm on the level that you can open any page in the Talmud. Listen to this. And I can say Torah on it for happy and non-stop. You know, his chassidim are almost like Ge'onim Atzumim, unbelievable. I can say Torah on any page in the Talmud for happy year, non-stop. He says you can open any passage in the Chumash on the Nevi'im, and I can say Mamish Torah for 3 months, or the Sisra Torah. He says, I want you to know one thing. Twice a year I come to Rabbi for Shabbos. And I always try to stand behind him on Shkos when he dies. Because Rabbi Mendel has a thing, when in the middle of davening, something new comes to his head, Someone remember the story? No? So he says, listen to this as an example. He says, one time I was standing behind Rabbi, and he said in the Shir, Micha Moicha Ba'elam Hashem. So he says, I want you to know, I went home, and for half a year I was learning whatever there was to say on that book. And it says, and I want you to know, I can swear to you, says this kid, that after I learned this postuk for half a year, I can say Torah on this postuk for 1 year non-stop. Sisra Torah. Listen to this. After half a year is over, I come back to Rabbi Mendel, and I want to know if I thought the right thing. And again it says, I swear to you, whatever would take me a year to tell people, I'm telling it Rabbi Mendel in exactly maybe 60 or 70 seconds. It's saying, Rabbi, did you mean this? Did you mean this? or did you mean this? And he always says, yeah, so much more. So much more. Imagine. I want you to know that, you know, the Heilige Robschitzer was one of Rabbi maybe his personal Rabbi, and the Robschitzer was a top on the head level. I just want to share this with you very fast. If they call me, then you fill in your okay, listen to me, Chavra. Do you know that it's a long story. One of the big Lamedvul Tzaddikim made a chibah of 36 volumes. 36 volumes. Yichudim of Hashem Echad. See? Okay. May I not fill in listen? You're not waiting.
How long have you been on the phone?
1 minute.
1 minute? Jill, what's that maybe? You remember how it goes?
One second. Where's my orange?